joining it. I forgot the other day, and I was like, oh man, I forgot to even join this thing. And I came in, and people were asking questions. All right. But yeah, I'm excited. I think today is gonna be it's gonna be a good day. But it's gonna heavily depend. Morning. It's gonna heavily depend on what we do with this level that we're at here.
You think we're gonna consolidate here till open?
Maybe they're gonna for sure try to shake it out, right? Because they want the bulls thinking we're bullish, they want the bears thinking we're bearish. So a lot of times, like I mean, we usually sweep the high, pull the low, and it tries to stay somewhat in the middle, right? But it depends, because if you think about it, if we do that kind of retracement I talk about a lot, see the perfect rejection, and that's a perfect rejection off of a level we expected. So we could just continue to sweep, right? They might trap the longs, all the breakout traders that aren't really watching.
That 50% retracement is one of the
fake
better
out or breakout. That's funny.
GA things that there is,
Dude, isn't it cool? Like I've always, you've heard me talk about it a lot of times for like ever, but I always said, halfway. I always called it like halfway. And I shifted to 50% because it is really a better trading terminology, right? And so I've always used it. I never really used the tool. I've looked at the charts enough to know, I mean, we're pretty close to that halfway, right? But then I forgot about this tool. And then when we did that once in class, I was like, oh man, okay, we were doing the measurement mostly to look for the bars. And then it dawned on me, I was like, oh wait, I forgot that grabs that halfway. So then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna start using this because I think it's a better visual, for you guys. So and
yeah, I can see it pretty good with my eye, but I find myself using that ruler a lot.
Me too.
A little more precise.
Yeah, me too. I've been using a little extra as well. Morning, guys. We're just finishing up our pre-market. I'm gonna let everybody come in real quick. Give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. Alright, guys. Yeah, see, look at that rejection, Cody. If it wasn't market up, and shoot, I might have considered it. Alright. Got all my stuff set up, got my accounts. Guys, at least I didn't take a trade this morning. A lot of good trades, but we did a little bit of a deeper kind of mentoring discussion, which was, I think, very good. So, but let's start up old NEO, man. Let's bring
Hello,
him
Nick.
in.
Ready to work. Let's keep the process sharp. What's on the chart today?
Yeah, let's keep the process sharp, buddy. I'm gonna mute a few things just because I want to try to keep it a little cleaner. I'm gonna keep it just these ones. No. Trying to think. Honestly, I may even mute this one just because I already got so many lines on that chart. Let's just keep it just the traps because I'm gonna put some NEO lines here. Good morning. We're live on TikTok and the community as well, and we're just getting ready to to get prepared for market open. Can you give me some key levels that we should be watching around the price that we are and kind of build me a trading plan? Well, let's see what he goes.
Good morning.
Nice.
The market is pressing right into a bearish order block at 29735, 29744. So we need to see if that zone rejects price or gets absorbed. Key levels. Bearish OB zone, 29,735.00 to 29,744.50. Immediate rejection risk. Prior day high, 29,757.00. Upside breakout trigger. Immediate support, 29,680.50. Key reaction low. Trade plan. Short. I'm looking for a rejection from the 29735, 29744 zone. If sellers defend and price loses 29,680.50, the first downside target is 29,564.00. Asterisk long. I need to see price clear and hold above the 29,744.50 OB top with volume. If that confirms, the first upside reaction zone is 29,786.50. Watch that OB zone closely. Trapping late longs, there is a classic move. Do you want me to map the liquidity hunt path for the open?
I think he's pulling that high right there.
Oh, that's interesting. Is that the new update that he gives you a short and a long?
Kind of. I mean, he always.
Or is that just this time?
It's because it was always kind of there. He pushes it a little more because I had said, hey, I'm getting started. Give me a trading plan, right? So he's gonna break down. Here's your levels. Here's where I would look short. Here's so he's gonna be a little more. The update part of it is I'm trying to make him be more clear, right? Like I said, because mostly we know what he's looking at, talking about, right? But newer people might not. You know what I mean? So
yeah, that was very clear.
Yeah.
So I like that. Pretty good.
So interesting. Yeah, that's really good actually. So 744. I mean, I'm not taking any of these guys because it's market open. But I like to see how it plays, right? So 744 is what he's talking about. If we can break through that with a good candle close hold, that 786 was his retarget. Sellers defend. So he wants to see if they defend this block zone. He's expecting a potential rejection if they defend it, which would then target 680. So let's just mark those ones for now, which is pretty wide actually. Interesting. So we'll lock these up. All right. Which is still, like I said, that 50% kind of pull. So if we do break that, I mean, he's probably on point with it. So we'll see. We'll see where that goes. Let's see where it goes. Guys, I expanded my chart. I'm gonna do my 15-second and 1 minute, but I will still try to blow up my text a little bit for you guys. Not a huge fan of having them that big, but I know you guys sometimes want to see the numbers. So, all right. Welcome. Good morning, guys. If you're on TikTok, YouTube, any of this, most or a good amount, I think, know by now, NEO. We did an Asia session last night. It was awesome. Called everything really, really well. I believe everybody got out green. If somebody was right, I wasn't aware. It was an awesome session. So we are turning the volume up on NEO. I'd have to turn my whole computer up. Which I can do. I can't run NEO through my desktop volume because TikTok has an algo that when it picks up too much desktop volume, it thinks that I'm doing recreated content and it flags me. So I have to have it kind of like go through my mic, if you will. But I can try to turn up. I think my mic can be turned up too. So we'll see. That way it picks up a little more. So let me know if that's any better when he talks. But yeah, I have to kind of walk on the eggshells of the old TikTok. So yeah, guys, so welcome. Better? Okay, good deal. Yeah, I can kind of do that. Try to get as close as I can, but yeah, maybe just turning it up, that helps. Anyways, we had a great session. We did a little update, that we were kind of testing in Asia, and he crushed it. So He's also doing a lot more detail into some of his reads, right? Which I know helps some people that aren't familiar with what I teach, kind of different things that I do, and so a lot of good feedback from that. So far, he's doing awesome with it. So today's gonna be a little tricky, I think. I didn't take a trade this morning purposely because I don't like, this is my 1 minute chart. This is kind of where I do a lot of my key level lines. Anything yellow is just something significant at one point or another that I liked, right? And so I kind of map those out. The way this structure is, guys, it's a bear structure. A lot. I wish there's some context for those. Well, you can ask him what they are, and he'll tell you for those. And then he always tells you the levels as well. The overall structure is bearish, right? And you go high time frame, it is. But I was kind of saying the last couple of days, pretty much this week, you guys have heard me say, I don't really think I'm buying that we're dropping yet. And so really good to see the push, right? It played out as we were thinking. Most of us in the early stages played longs in the Asia last night. They ended up buying kind of like I thought we would. The thing we don't know where today gets tricky, right, is are we on the other side of the descent for this structure? Is this here what we're creating here, right? Or is it what we're creating here? We don't know. So we have a few validations and validations. That's why I'm moving some of these lines to try to see where today takes us. From the overall pull, we've already held our 50% and we expanded from it. So that's showing strength. But I want to see if it respects this top. That's why I have that orange line, 773. So if it respects that and open and we actually sweep it and we lose it and we fall pretty hard, then kind of tells us a lot, right, on what the week's going to end up, today or tomorrow. If we push through it, I would expect to look for possible rejections somewhere around 30,000, 30,070-ish or so. If we do, then we know that we're likely more into this side of that descent. Based on this bear structure, you got to put some invalidations. So these are the white lines. If anything breaks through these, this one here especially, it's an invalidation and it's about to go up big. So this was a similar exercise that I did back here to identify when we did the blow off top, right? So do I think that's going to happen like that? We don't know yet, right? Nobody knows. So, the structure is the structure, right? Keep the emotions out. So I didn't want to take anything this morning. We did, a couple people took some. I didn't. I had a really good night last night, as most of you guys know. Just didn't really need to push it. So I don't like this zone. I think there's too much reaction within this zone. We could easily pull back pretty hard. Anything below 689, I've already done that kind of TA. If we do hold here or we sweep here and lose it, which is that 773, and we pull back through there, this zone from 689, 690-ish, all the way to 326 is such a fast moving zone, man. This thing goes drop, up, drop, up. And so I would not chase a bottom if we do fall below that. I just wouldn't recommend it. So we are at 9:15, so I'm gonna kind of move along. Let me type a little thing. I appreciate you guys helping with questions. But I'll just put in here trading NASDAQ. Just typing this out. All right, so I'll just kind of pen that. Doesn't seem like a lot of people read the pen, but it helps a little. All right, so but yeah, I appreciate you guys answering those questions. So for those who don't know, if you're joining, you want to hang around, this is NEO. So this is an AI that the company that myself and two others run created. NEO is integrated into the entire site, and we're going to continue to integrate him. He is doing awesome, absolutely crushed it. We had probably the easiest trading night in Asia last night. I did like no TA really. We just kind of leaned on him for his levels, waited, guidance, all that, and he crushed it. So, if you're intrigued, stick around and watch it. You can also use him yourself if you trade something else. Nextstepalgo.com is the website. Link is in the bio. And TradeVision is where we are. So you click on TradeVision, that's where we're going to be talking to him. So we have other things. I like Girk, you keep reminding me. If you are trading NASDAQ or MNQ and you are not signed up on the free trial, or let's say you already did the free trial, this is also NEO. So these are our live sessions. Anything that's green is in session. I'm actually, oh shoot, man, y'all, I didn't even open up the damn thing. Hold on, sorry guys. I just noticed that. I'm like, why is that light lit up? I tell you, I get my YouTube and TikTok and everything else going, and I've already got the Google Meetup, so I forget to open the live session. So the live session is open, guys, now. Apologize for that delay. So you'll see the shift in the green light. If you want to join on the Google Meet, you can. You just click on here and you click there. It opens up the Google Meet. It's free. Don't do anything. If you want to watch NEO, you can click on there. I think my web thing timed out. Let me refresh it. There you go. When you see the green head, that means he's active. This is just a stream. You can watch him. I at times forget this is here because I lean a lot on TradeVision, right? But this doesn't cost you anything. It's every 5 minutes he's going to give an update. You can unmute it and he'll talk. Gives you literally a
Hello,
market.
Let's capture the move.
Conditions, entries, all that. Anybody can watch that. It's free. So, but this is TradeVision. This is where the hub is. This is where he's your coach, mentor, guide, all that stuff. And he's gonna tell you everything. So I'm gonna answer questions as I can, but guys, keep in mind. Good morning. The right at the open, right? We trade live. So I typically we're done like yesterday. We were done by like 10:15, but usually we're done by about 10:30. A hard stop at 11. So we're gonna lean on him for some guidance, and you guys can watch. You don't have to take every trade that he does if you want to just see how he does. I try to open it for questions after. So if you have a lot of questions and I'm not asking or answering them, please stick around. But I do have a lot of people you'll see answering questions. I appreciate that, Cody, Steven, and others. They're in the community, right? So they help out with questions a lot. So, but good morning, guys. Yeah, like I said, if you know Neo, I'm sure you're gonna want to stick around, and if you don't, then you probably want to stick around. So just to see what he does. So he's been pretty pretty on point with it. So we're gonna come in. He already gave me some levels we marked out. I want to see what he says here coming on the open. If you're just joining, I kind of gave a little bit of I'll give you a little summary of concern. This orange line is very important. It's 29,773. If we open and we spring through this, pretty good likelihood if it holds, like Neo would tell you, it's going to get pretty high, right up into this range. However, if we open and this kind of bear flag plays out and we get a deep southern play below 689, it could drop pretty far. Every time we've broken this level and sustained it, right? Break, hold, sustainment, we go pretty far down. So we'll see what Neo says the institutions are doing and his guidance, but just without him, just kind of knowing what I look at, what I know, what I teach, it's a tricky area. So be really careful. Manage your volume appropriately, guys. Some of you that traded Asia, if you're already green, maybe just watch, study, right? Or 1M and Q. Where we are is tricky. Anything above here can go pretty high. Anything below here can go pretty low. So if you get caught, right, there might be sweep outs. If you're using tight stops, you're probably going to get beat up a little bit. If you're not using stops and your volume's too high, you run the risk of losing the account. So be careful. I'm gonna delete that one out. So the levels he gave us, just kind of key spot, was 786 and 680 so far. I didn't really go deep into the reaction ones, but I think he said, yeah, 757 was one he was watching, which is funny because I didn't even look at that, but we rejected right off that. You see that? Well, it's prior day high is what he's pulling. So rejection off that. So that was pretty good. in a couple minutes, we're going to ask him, you know, kind of what he thinks, key levels, all that, what he would do with the market if he were to chase liquidity on a US Open. Guys, he just kind of a disclaimer, and it's funny. I always feel like I have to give this, but he's been pretty right damn near every day. He is not have a crystal ball, right? He's just looking at liquidity, probability, anomalies, all that stuff. Um, don't get greedy, you know, don't up your volume, don't get crazy. If he tells you, hey, I would sweep it to here, a lot of times it does that first. But at times, if he says I would sweep it here and pump it here, or vice versa, you know, it may go the opposite first and then go to that, right? So you know, jumping in too quickly is sometimes, you know, he might be right, but just not be right on the direction that it went first. He doesn't have a crystal ball. He's looking at, you know, liquidity and, like I said, anomalies, right? But he does awesome. Just leave your volume manageable enough that you know, you're not going to get stopped out before you let the whole play. So 9:23, we got a few minutes before we jump in. Let me make sure. I think I got all my accounts going. Yeah, should be good on all that. Yeah, I think we're all set. We're a little ahead of what I want to ask them the questions. So if you guys have any quick questions, I can probably answer them. But I'm not looking at other symbols and things. But if you have questions about Neo and stuff, um, maybe I'll elaborate on the one earlier about the VWAPs and the EMAs. So he's going to mention them, right? Like you got the EMA here, or you know, we're below VWAP, above VWAP. I mean, these are things, you know, normal traders want to look at anyways. So um he's always going to give you the level. If you don't know what it means, you can ask him. If you don't know what the level is, you can ask him. So you know, as far as seeing the visual, as retail traders, we're very big on visual, but you really don't necessarily need that visual. You just need to know the level, right? And so yeah, I'm going to ask his bias here in a second. So you know, if you're not sure what he's saying, or if he repeats something, you can always ask him. So, you know, if he says an OB zone, what is an OB? He's going to tell you, right? Order block. Why is that zone important? He's going to say, well, it's important because of this, right? He's AI. You can ask him all the time. Just ask him if you have a question. So
Somebody asked, what's the best read course to learn trading?
Did I miss that? So the best thing on trading, I'll give you kind of the quicker answer, and then we'll jump to Neo, is you're going to want to stick around, and you're definitely going to want to check out our site, because we not a lot of communities like to teach newer people, right, to grow. I really built a lot of things around that. I want all levels, and so we actually have a lot of things that will teach people. If you want to know where to start, when you come into the website, right, TradeVision is going to help you. He can teach all the way from knowing nothing. He can talk to you like a 5-year-old, or he can talk to you institutional level, right? But we have training courses as well that are not expensive. They're like $30, right, with the discount. The training starter kit is free. That's the best place to start. If you're new and you're like, man, I'm intrigued, I want to learn, where do I start? Well, that's where you start. My recommendation from there is we built a lesson structure plan, right? Lesson 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Again, these are $30. They're not expensive. It's a good way to start, right? It's going to take you through all the basics, you know, foundations, understanding volatility, directional bias, you know, support resistance, all the basics that you need from within. So that's kind of the best place to start. We got 4 minutes, so I'm kind of watching that closely. All of our stuff is like you're at school. It's not a video, right? You're gonna have questions, you're gonna have homework, you're gonna have workbooks. Neo's incorporated into all of our training. You can ask him questions, so you're not just left out on your own, right? You can actually ask him questions. This is a book. It's not a video. It's an ebook.
ICT
He will
strategy
talk to you.
course.
I'm gonna mute it. He will talk to you. And so that's kind of the best place to start if you want. And then the other advice, you know, I know some have given is just kind of show up each day, right? Kind of watch what we do. But you want to study so you kind of understand what we're talking about while we're doing it. And so, yeah, we got 3 minutes left. So I'm going to kind of deviate over. You guys can listen on Neo, and let's see what he thinks. Just wanted to do a check in right before market open. If you can kind of give me an overall bias of the U.S. Open that's coming up. Also, if you were running the book or a market maker looking to wreck the most retail traders, baiting them in and hitting stops, where would you send price here in a couple minutes on U.S. Open? Let's see what he says. And I'm going to tell you how he says it really matters, so I'll interpret it if
U.S.
I see
Open
it.
bias is mixed. Wait, as price is compressing inside a bearish order block while struggling to maintain bullish structure. Avoid chasing the open. Wait for the first 15 minutes of volatility to clear and price to accept outside the 29743, 29757 range. If I were hunting retail liquidity, a push above 29,757 to trap late breakout buyers before rejecting would be the classic retail bait path. Conversely, a stop hunt sweep below 29,719 to
Keeping them
trigger
pretty
long
tight.
stops before a reclaim could also bait shorts. Wait for the reclaim or rejection of these levels rather than guessing the direction during the first few minutes of the open.
Okay, so he's got his ranges a little tighter today. Interesting, guys. So I tell people in the VIP and mentor group I talk a lot with, his ranges matter, right? Read into it, because sometimes y'all have heard it. He's just like, I'd sweep down to the 680 and then send it to the 786, right? He expects, pretty wild movement. This one's interesting because he gave us a key level here of the 787 and the 680, which is wide. But his bias, this is the first time I've actually ever, I think it's the first time. Have you guys ever heard him say the US bias is mixed? He almost always says it's bearish or bullish or I'd sweep this or that, and it's mixed. So that should tell you something, guys. The fact that he gave kind of tighter levels should tell you something. The nice thing about that when you read into that, and I can ask him, is if we sweep below here and we hold that 719, it's likely going to get further downside. If we push here and we hold that, it's likely going to get further upside. And we can ask him that. We have US Open opening here in about 30 seconds. So if I understand you correctly, if we get a good breach above 757 and we hold that, then we would potentially look for more long side. If we get a break below 719 and we hold that, would be downside? Or should you elaborate a little on that for open? You might come back and say, no. Well, I want to get above this or below this. So let's see.
Spot on. If price breaks and holds above 29,757, that confirms the breakout long, with the first meaningful upside target
He
near
hit both sides. Look at
29,840.
that. We'll see where it
If
goes.
price fails to hold that 29,757 level or breaks below 29,715, the setup flips to a short, with the first downside target near 29,680. Don't chase the open. Wait for the first 2 minutes to show you which level actually holds, because liquidity sweeps are damn near guaranteed right at the bell.
So instant move was kind of funny. I mean, it expanded eventually, but did you guys see that? It went up, down, and then it expanded. So he was still on point with that, with the tight range. So 680 is what he's watching. Anything below that, he's expecting a pull. We're going to give it a few minutes, let him get the institutional data. So if we breach the 680, you guys already know that's a big level for me. The mentor group that we talked about and those that joined early. So, but the buyers are going to try to defend that because if they lose that, they're going to get absolutely destroyed. And so I'm going to give him a minute or two, let him get the new institutional data. And futures or options. Yeah, this is futures. We do options at 11, but NEO can do options if you have that, and you can do a free trial on it. Look at that bounce right off of the 680. Bam. So let's see. He should have the data now because we're open. I wanted to check in with you. So far, so good, right? We swept the high, like you said, 57. We got that 680 bounce. It's trying to reject on the 719. Now that you have the institutional data updated, can you please give us a update on the plan based on what the institutions are doing? I want to see what he says with that. So let's get ready to mark some levels.
Quick correction. Current price is 29,720.06.
It's bouncing
so we're
everywhere.
Actually sitting below the 29,726.25 swing retracement, not rejecting 719 yet. The institutional pivot at 29,704.72 is acting as the primary reaction level right now. If price holds above it, The bullish idea remains active toward the 29,819 resistance, but if it loses that pivot, the short side opens back up toward the 29,680 bounce level. Market restricted due to proximity to existing home sales, so keep size small and let the structure prove itself rather than guessing the open.
Yeah, we got news, I think, at 10 is why he's doing that. So 819 is the upside. If we hold 680, he was saying, let's see, the institutional pivot he's got. I'm just going to mark levels, guys. I'm not going to jump into anything too early yet. So he's got 704 is what you want to really watch on the reclaim from the 680, right? Is where he said then we would get the push back up to the 819 potential. If it loses the 680, he didn't really give us a downside of what that would be. And so if it loses the 680, I guess we'll just see what it does on the loses. He had 819. That's wild. That's a pretty good that's a good haul. Let's see. If we lose the 680, do we have any lower institutional levels? Also, are institutions buying or selling? But that 680 is holding.
If price loses the 29,680.50 reaction level, the next meaningful downside liquidity target is the institutional gamma wall zone near 29440, 29470. Institutional flow is currently showing buy pressure, but regular volume is heavily selling, creating a conflict that requires price to confirm the breakdown before trusting the move. Avoid chasing the drop until price loses 29,680.50 and confirms with a candle close below it.
Interesting. So institutions are buying. So let's see where we go here. Let me ask him, that 757, is that still a key point, or should we remove that? So far, guys, I don't know if you jumped into the long from here. He said to close above that 704. I'm trailing it on it. It's a 660 point move already. So I wanted to ask him about the 57.
Update your chart. 29,757 is no longer the key breakout level because price has already tested and failed to sustain that area. The new decision zone to watch is the 29743, 29757 bearish order block. Price must reclaim and hold above 29,757 for a clean long, while losing 29,680 is the breakdown trigger for a short.
Okay, I'm just going to kind of mark. I've been starting to mark blocks like that when he does the clusters, but his target was if we hold this and reclaim 704, he said 819 was the target. And look at this. He's about to hit it. Crazy. But interesting, we do have a prior high here at the 786, so be really careful. I'm curious if it'll just blow through that, right? But look at it. It's just going to blow through it. He did it again. It's so crazy. Insane. It just hit my TP. That was a 2MNQ trade, guys, and it was $600. Like 500 something. That's insane.
Yeah, I got 580.
It's market open, so I didn't want to go high volume, man. I only did 2MNQ, but I was like, guys, I was on my MyFunded intraday as well. So remember, this one was at 7, and so I think it was a little over 4 on it. I even intraday, I'm like, he's been so spot on, man. I'm just setting TPs, and this dude did it again. Y'all are done. All right, guys. Hey, thanks for joining. Have a great rest of your day. Wait. We actually got it done in 5 minutes. Johnny, remember like that one time when we did a 5-minute trade only for special people?
Yeah, that's right.
Look at Walt just said that. He goes, well, shit, done for the day. What do you guys want to do? What do you guys want to do? You want to hang out? You guys want to, we'll have Neo talk about, I don't know. Guys, this is... go ahead, Johnny. Go ahead.
All these newbies
So
are waiting
stupid.
for the 15-minute ORB.
We're done, man. We're ready to go get a sandwich. Yeah. That's so funny, man. Guys,
I'm headed to the beach. See y'all.
I'm about shit. I live in Myrtle Beach. I'm about to go right now. I know some of you are. Dude, I'm Johnny, look, I know I'm on camera over here, but now you're gonna make me put my camera on because I got to get the, all right. I love and you said trading was hard. It's so funny because those who know me know I sit here. It just it literally hit the TV all the way. It's ridiculous. I blinked and it's over. Look, hey, I'm just saying you're over there trying to figure out the EMAs, and this dude just called a 140 point move in a minute. No, I'm messing with you, man. it's exciting, guys. I mean, we've worked really hard on Neo, and man, like he has just called this open like every day. It's stupid. Uh, and anybody out here, man, you guys know that even experienced people, open is one of the most difficult things to call because you just don't know what they're gonna do. Um, and guys, he's called it like damn near spot on like for weeks now, right? And it's so funny because you know, for those of you who know, like Walt and some others, you guys are like, I've seen it enough. I'm trusting it, man. I'm in. Done for the day. Have a great day. Uh, and some of you, I'm sure, are sitting here going, "What the hell did I just watch?" Right? Um, that's Neo. He's got all his own data. He's like, watch. I'm gonna tell him, watch. That is insane. The whole community, the TikTok followers, all of us, good chunk of us took that level off of the 680. And your call of it, if it closed above that 704, we would go to the 819 was spot on. Uh, Most people are already done for the day, so great job. But some people are asking, like, how do you know this? Like, how do you do that? Like, because trading's hard, isn't it? I want to see what he says. Sometimes I like to taunt him. You just select a symbol right here. Let me blow this up a little bit.
I can't share proprietary
Oh, he
data, but I can show
proprietaried
you
me.
why
Shut
that
up.
hierarchy matters. The trade wasn't about guessing, it was about waiting for the market to prove its intent by reclaiming the pivot, then watching for the target liquidity area at the resistance wall. When you stop trying to predict and start focusing on confirmation, invalidation, and clear targets,
You
you
do it
stop
again?
gambling and start trading the structure. Do you want me to show you how to map those next setups so you don't have to chase?
There you go. He's willing to. I guess maybe he knows what you want to know. Um, it's so funny because we've done that where I'm like, man, like, how do you make this look so easy? He's like, it is easy. Like, you just do this and stop looking at this. I'm like, shut up. So, guys, we joke about it. I'm like, guys, all these years of getting your ass whipped, like, it's easy. What are you doing? Um, but it's really just the power of AI, guys. AI can see so much. He's taught to look at a lot of things that are very important. He has his own data feed. He's looking for anomalies. He's looking for, in a nutshell, he's kind of taught to not uh, trade like retail. He's taught to look at retail style trading, look at institutions and what they're doing, and he's taught to kind of look at that anomaly, right? I mean, where would retail get wrecked, right? And that's what he does. So, just pretty cool, pretty awesome, right? And so I'll continue to talk to him, but I always like to pause anytime you guys ever get a good win, a good trade. Take a pause, just be excited, be happy, take the win. We're gonna still trade. I was joking. We're not done. But if you guys want to try him out again, I'll give the little disclaimer for those that want to check it out. Nextstepalgo.com. Neo's not something I'm promoting as an affiliate. He is something we created. Um, and it's all he's web based. There's nothing to install. There's no settings. There's nothing crazy. You just talk to him. He will be a coach, mentor, guide, watch levels, real time data. He has his own data. Um, to select symbols, you just choose your symbol that you want here. If you don't know what symbol to choose, you can type it in, or you can type in the name, um, and it'll pick it up, right? But these are all the stuff that he does. So you guys can check it out. We are still live trading, so I can't go over too much, but I'll kind of as I can. As far as Neo, we do a free trial, so a 3-day free trial. So um, when you want to go to the website, right, you guys can try them for free, not even linking a card. So open happened really fast on that, Ellie. And so what we've done is I built up enough trust for him, but not enough that I did a lot of volume. I only did 2 MQ. But what he said quickly there, kind of way up here, I forgot where it was. He had said the level 704 that he was watching. He said if the 680 holds and we get a clean close above 704. So I was kind of waiting, got the close above the 704, and I jumped in a little early on the 15 second. If you were doing the 1 minute, right, then your entry would have been like right there, probably somewhere near like 720, 730, right, to play that up. So on the candle close, yeah, and it moves really fast, so you kind of have to execute quickly, but it's U.S. Open, you know. At the same time, you gotta kind of have big balls, right? Because you can be wrong. What I do is if it's this close when it comes down, I don't take the first move as much, even though kind of cool it would have worked. Um, I like that second move, right? And so it gives me a little tighter to where if I would have swept here and closed below there, I might have just shut it down, right? So uh, I'm gonna keep answering a few questions, but I do want to get back to talking to them because we're missing some opportunities here. So I like the 15 second, a 1 minute, and typically the 5 minute. I typically like to watch the 1 minute heavily as well, but I've been doing one chart, but I really want to go back to two at least. And so I like the 15 second because it just shows you more, right? It shows you more. I can see indecision that is going to likely bounce before it shows you on the 1 minute. So if I want to scalp from 820 to 860 on the 1 minute, I'm still kind of waiting for this doji to breach up or down. Well, on the 15 second, I see that it already bounced perfectly on that level, and I got to close above, and I can take a scalp back to it if I want to, right? It shows you things a little bit sooner when you study what the market's doing. So, but awesome job, guys. So again, don't get greedy. Always, the pause for the cause, and let's jump in. Let's see what we can do as far as getting some trades here for this. So I'm gonna shift over to this other account, I think. Okay, we took a little pause there after that good win. If you can give me the next trade setup, what would I want to see have happen for a long? What would I want to see have happen for a short? And also maybe what is your preference? I think he said institutions were buying too, so be careful on the shorts. Let's see if he adjusts any levels here.
Price is currently pushing above 29,819.18, so the gamma wall is now acting as support. For a long, I want to see price hold 29,819.18 and reclaim local momentum, with 30,069 as the next reaction target. Invalidation is a failed hold back below 29,819.18. For a short, I need a failed reclaim of 29,819.18 or a rejection at the next overhead reaction zone with seller absorption. Invalidation for that short is a reclaim and hold above 29,819.18. Since existing home sales is 16 minutes away, keep your size small and your stops tight.
Makes sense. So 819 is kind of our line in the sand. If we lose that, we want to watch longs. To take the longs, your suggestion is we kind of look for pullbacks. Would you suggest, or do you think breakouts would be okay for chasing that 30,069? Again, if I have questions, I'm just going to keep asking them. All right, just keep on asking them.
Don't chase breakouts here. The structure is showing deep pullback warnings, so chasing a breakout into overhead resistance is just asking to get trapped. The cleaner path is waiting for a confirmed pullback into a reaction zone, then looking for buyer absorption or reclaim before adding to your position.
Yeah, see this pull here, doji, close above, that would be your scalp entry there while I was kind of talking to him. But yeah, so I'm not going to jump into this as it expands. I'm going to wait for it to either expand or give me a pullback back into range. If I were to look for a pullback right now, where would that look like and where would my entry be? What are you saying, Johnny? I'll mute him.
I'll get 905 as the local top.
905? Okay.
That'd be my level.
Yeah. Pullback needs to hold near the 819, which is now acting as reclaimed support if price holds above. Absorption. What's 704? Let's see. Man, he put a local invalidation real low, 704. Interesting. I think he's I'm noticing your levels at times are getting a little wide. Are you expecting potential wide volatility? I just want to ask him because sometimes it's funny. His stuff's real tight and sometimes it's wide. That's crazy.
With existing home sales news just 13 minutes away, the market is pricing in expansion risk and wider volatility, so the levels are widening to keep you from getting chopped up by news-driven wicks. I would reduce your position size and widen your invalidation until that volatility clears.
Yeah. And so again, if you want to know, like, man, are you expecting it? Because he's starting to throw out 704 and 3069 and giving a little caution, which he should, right? We have news in 13 minutes. I mean, that news typically doesn't move the market a lot, so you can trade through that if your volume is manageable, but it can, right? Any kind of news that comes out really off is going to move the market pretty well. He seems pretty stubborn. This is why I'm going to wait stubbornly to say he wants to pull back into the A19 and then a show of support. So I'm going to wait because every time he has said that, it tends to pull back to 819. And I'll tell you, for those of you who did not hear this, and I'm not going to go deep into it, I grilled him at one point and I said, well, should I go long? And he kept saying, no, wait for a pullback to here. And I'm like, what if I miss it? And he's like, then you effing miss it. He's like, missing a bad trade setup is not missing a trade. And I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, it's great advice, right? So, and that's where a lot of retail we get caught because you get so excited of the pressure, you just keep jumping in, right? And then they do that sweep and you get absolutely obliterated. So, yesterday we did a really cool trial. We traded everything he said mostly to a T uh, in Asia, and it was literally the easy. Look at this pullback right to it. It was the easiest Asia session I've ever traded. It was insane. And so I'm kind of just patiently waiting here, guys. I want to see if we get this pull. I mean, look at right all the way back
About 786 would be halfway of the push. Just
here. Yeah, look at this right back to 819. Insane. And so I'm curious if we get a bounce off here because remember he kept saying wait till the 819. Now he did say short would be below 819. And so let's see. You were definitely correct to hold off on chasing that breakout. We pulled all the way back to the 819. So if we breach this and retest as a rejection, that would be the short viable entry. But if we bounce and hold off that with the doji green candle, would that be a re-entry for a long? Again, if I'm curious, I'm just going to ask. Oh yeah, the FOMO gets so real when you're waiting. I want to validate too again.
Exactly.
He
if
said
we
that they
lose
were
the
buying.
29,819 support, a failed reclaim or
here's your
rejection
doji.
becomes the textbook short entry, with the next downside reaction zone near 29,671. If you see a bounce there with buyer absorption and a green candle close, that's your green light for a long re-entry. Just
Let's
keep
see if
your
it holds.
invalidation tight below the retest wick.
They're absorbing. Let's see if it holds again. Can you remind me, are the institutions buying or selling? Which way should our bias lean, bullish or bearish? Should we be prioritizing longs or shorts? I can't remember what he said earlier.
Institutional flow is still positive, but price is struggling with immediate sell pressure and has not reclaimed the key structure levels needed to trust the bullish path. I would prioritize waiting for clarity rather than forcing a side. The long only becomes cleaner if price reclaims and holds above 29,848, while the short is only worth considering if price fails there and loses 29811.
Okay. So if we reclaim the 848 with the close above that, what would be the target?
If we reclaim and hold above 29,848 with candle close confirmation, the first meaningful upside target is the gamma resistance near 30,069.
Gosh, he still wants that target up there.
Is a failed
That's
pullback
crazy.
under 29,848. So keep that stop tight since we're 9 minutes out from news.
He still wants that target way up there. Holy cow, look at this push. I took my defensive play, y'all know I did, and I'm trailing the hell out of this thing. Holy shit. I can't even keep up with the DOM, y'all. What the world is this thing doing? Where are we? I can't even find my DOM. Oh, there it is. I found it. All right, I'm trailing. Guys, you guys can see I'm not, I was trying to find the damn DOM. Look at this. I'm up $1,000 on this one on just 10 M&Q. I did a defensive. I did 5 and 5. I'm just going to keep trailing this thing. Shit, I can't even keep up with the DOM. If it stops me out, it stops me out. I'm fine with it. I just want to secure it. There you go. I'm done. Wow, that was cool. That was a $1,200 trade. Isn't this stupid, guys? Like Johnny, I mean, man, I talk to you about this a lot.
Yeah,
Isn't it stupid?
I was watching that level. He triple tapped on the 19, and I just went, "Yep, okay, we're going." And then I was just watching it. I did 4 MNQ, and that was, yeah, I just
Oh
stopped
my
out
goodness.
just shy of the 05 level.
So
that was 488.
guys, I would be careful shorting this thing because he is damn adamant about this 369. So, guys, I mean, I've taken 2 trades. I did the one on the open, and again, he was stubborn. Y'all just heard him. He's like, I wouldn't do the breakout. We're gonna like wait for the pullback retest at 819, wait for the close, which we got right there above 840 died, and it jumped again. I mean, this is he just called 200-point moves, 100 some point moves.
Okay.
Like
I'm legit done now. I'm not taking any more risks.
I don't even know. Like this one, these are rapids, guys. So this is the one I passed last night. So this is payable today, and then this one I got to still work through the intraday. But so I'm done with this one. I'll just take my money and run tonight. But that was the fastest, easiest $1,000 I've made as a trader. So where do we enter? You have the 1 minute and you have the 15-second. It just depends kind of what you're looking at. Some, prioritize the 1 minute. But if you think about it, even if you enter the 1 minute, your close, to your point, Kirk, when we talked about it, would have been here, right? 362. You still had just a crazy good profit move, right? It's always on the candle close. So I actually look at the 15-second quite a bit because I love to see absorption, dojis, candles. I like to see what it's doing. You guys saw how I do that, how I look at it kind of last night. Those that were there. And I like to see that early move, and if I want to jump in early on a 15-second versus the 1 minute, it's not as confirmed usually, but I did defensive. I did the 5 MNQ on the close there, and then when I got the close on the 1 minute, I added the 5 MNQ and just let it roll, and then man, when this one right here hit, I was like trying to trail it on my dom, and I'm like, where the hell is the ticker? I'm trying to watch it because I didn't want to go too close, right? That was awesome. I mean, guys, those 2 trades, ridiculous, insane. So I was like, what, $1,800, just $1,600 just from a 2 MNQ trade and a 5 MNQ, with one addition. So you don't really need a lot of volume, guys. But if you're new, going, what am I watching? Welcome to Neo. It's pretty awesome. He's made me just so lazy. To your point, Johnny, on that, like, it's just, it almost like, I'm gonna mildly vent, right? It almost kind of pisses me off. Like, come on, guys, be honest. Of all the struggles you go through, all the accounts you've broken, all of the times that you gotten wrecked, and then he, as easy as he makes this look, it kind of pisses me off because and watch y'all, like, we're gonna probably hit this target. I'll tell you, when he puts these stupid targets up here, but don't chase it, right? Because you want to wait for your pullbacks. But oh man, we're done again before 10. Oh, good lord. All right, guys. Well, anybody new to the channel, what do you guys think? I'm not taking a trade right now. We'll talk to him in a second.
20 years of trading, and this little shit, he calls the shots, and he's only 3 months old. There you go.
And that's why, Johnny, man, look, you're my AI confidant there, but because I know you understand. But when I tell people how we created Neo, especially, but any AI, but Neo doing development, when I tell people, somebody said, that's not true, but it is. When I tell people that you can learn from Neo in months what it took me and others years to learn. It's just a fact, because
Yeah, too bad you didn't have this 2 years ago when I started.
I had to log all your failures to perfect them. So Cody, you are contributing.
It's just doing exactly the opposite that you did.
Now I know his logic. It's the opposite of copy trading.
Yeah. Vanessa, I think that's your name. 30,069 was his like deeper target. But remember, it's not going to go in a straight line, right? So if you get domed out, if you're a swing trader, and you want to let it roll, his invalidation was that 819. We break below it, you out. If you're a swing trader and you want to let it roll, you got the volume, the margin to do it, let it roll, right? But I would always suggest to put your TP lower, trail it when you get to at least halfway, protect your trades, things like that. But it'll probably get there. I may take another one on this other intraday I want to get through. Let me make sure I'm on the right account.
Yeah, 905 will be the hold level. So
Yeah.
From there, I've got next port of call will be top of this move. We've got to get up to 968, and then top of the move is 30,024.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, and institutionals what 30,019. So
One.
Neo's right.
Yeah, it's crazy on that portion of that. But I got a couple questions, guys. I am out of my trades. I'm not. I'm gonna answer a few of those questions. Give 1 sec. We do have news in 2 minutes, so I'm gonna stay out. I don't care if it's super impactful or not. I would recommend stay out. If you're in the trade, just trail it. But you might need to trail it a little wider, or you might get swept in the news, right? But I'm gonna take a minute and answer some questions. I don't really need to take any more trades if I don't want to, because I already have a guaranteed payout of like $1,000 today at 8 o'clock anyways. So it's good haul for the day. For those that are asking questions, I'll answer a few while I'm doing that. Those who have Neo, you guys can continue to talk to him if you like, but I'm gonna sit out for just a second and answer a couple of these questions. So as far as I'll go down the list from where I see. If I missed it, let me know. The long swing target was 30,069. I don't expect it to be a straight line. It could be, but it might be bumpy, so be ready. For me, I prefer to stay long, like he said, above 819. He said that, right out the gate once we kind of broke through that. Um, and but I'm a top and bottom trader. I want to let it pull back a bit, find me a doji, some kind of absorption, and then bam, I'll take the expansion. I don't like to do this here, so. And so I'm gonna go down the order of the questions and try to get all these. Got the target. What are you using? What are we using? This is Neo. So if you are new to the channel, new to following me, might want to give a follow, or you can come into the community. This is Neo. This is a commercial AI that we created. He's on commercial servers, not on my desktop. This is a website, nextstepalgo.com. Me and two friends of mine, long-term friends, 20, 30 years type, created this. And so he is AI, true AI. It's not the AI that you probably see a lot on TikTok. He will self-analyze. He's getting better, smarter. There's people in here that can vouch for that have seen him since birth. So we'll call it. He's just getting smarter every day. He is called Market Open damn near to a T for shoot. I don't know how long now, guys. Like weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I don't even know. Quite a while. Like at least 3 weeks. One of the hardest things to call, right? His levels are just yeah.
Since the day you asked him to do it, every single day he's been right.
Yeah, it's like that's what I'm saying. I don't even know, like 4 months. I mean, he's just really hasn't been wrong. It's stupid. And so we taught him many things. We taught him primarily to teach people how to get out of the retail mindset and begin to trade like advanced or institutional style traders, right? Learning liquidity, order flow, all those things. That's what he's looking at. He don't care about certain things. You notice he said, if it holds here, we're going here, and we did it, within a couple of the trades this morning, and he's not going, but watch the Lisma, watch the 200, watch this, but we might not do this. He has all that data, and he's aware that it could be significant, but if the order flow, the structure, and what institutions are doing are overwhelming, he does not care about it, and if you ask him, he's going to tell you indicators are lagging. They're more so like most big dog kind of traders, hedge funds. They're not out here going, did we cross the 200 EMA? Those are all lagging stuff that retail are taught to use, right? Now they're still good if you use them right. But we designed him in a way that he is a one-stop shop. He is going to be able to teach you from ground up. I don't care what your experience is. It's funny, some people who have 10, 20 years, are skeptical, and then they do the trial, and then they sign up, and they're like, well, shit, I know what I'm doing, but it doesn't hurt to have extra validation. He's not here to teach you a new strategy if you already have your favorite strategy. If you tell him your strategy, he's just going to simply say, let's use your strategy, and um, I'll tell you what I see, and together we're going to win, right? At the end of the day, traders want two things. You want to win, you want to be green, and you want to develop. I don't care how long you want to trade for. You could be 20, 30 years. You still should be learning. You can always be better. Nobody's perfect on trading. Nobody, at all. Even the big money, right? And that's where Neo comes in. He's a one-stop shop. So Neo is on our entire website mostly. We're going to continue to expand him into more things. He is in our trading courses. He will help you with you can ask him questions in our trading courses. TradeVision is just the brains. That's the hubs. That's your trading partner, your mentor, your guide, your confidant. Like, you just sit there and talk to him, right? It is not going to ever alert you. Eventually we will. That is what watch list is coming out. He's ask a question, he'll interpret it. Ask a question, he'll interpret it. Oh, you did ask that, Jasmine. Sorry. It's nextstepalgo.com. So just next step. I loved that name when we created it, because some people know the history of also why I like it, but it's the next step, in your journey, right? And so that's kind of was something that sunk in with us. So, yeah, I appreciate that, man. And I have those who know me know I have been borderline unhealthy, obsessed with perfecting this guy. And it's been a long road, but and every time he's gets better. Um, the way my mind works, I'm very analytical. I see a lot of probability. I'm always going to look for ways to make him better, whether it's trading, whether it's user experience, things like that. And it's funny, every time he gets better, people say he's great, don't touch him. And then I go, well, I have an idea though. And I get people that text me and say, well, make sure you back it up, because he's good. And but then it ends up better, And so, oh, he just nailed like 200-point moves, like it was easy. So it was stupid. So that's why I'm okay talking about it. Oh, I appreciate it. There's a few things, guys, and I'm gonna probably stay out of this, and the only way I'm gonna enter this, and I am watching. Most people know I'm watching while I'm talking. If I see a deep pull back in to retest these levels, I will check in with him again, and we're gonna say, hey, we got a pull, right? Are we looking like we can take another one? Then we might look. When we built the website, guys, the website is literally 99% automated. Any trading course you do, when you purchase it, you unlock it, and it's automated. You don't have to wait for people. Even our indicators, when you purchase them or subscribe to them, it's automated. It takes, I think he has a cycle every 30 minutes. It'll look and do it. So you might have to wait a little, but it's automated, right? I don't have to touch anything. So it's great. I love it. We wanted it to be very seamless, easy to kind of read, follow, all that. It's gonna get even easier. It's gonna get better. I have an idea that Alex and I are working on that is gonna have a little side pane that you'll have a little thing down here where it's support Neo. You're gonna be able to click on it and talk to him. This is what I want to do. Where do I go? What do you have? What do you offer me? Where should I click? Where should I look at this? All that. So can Neo learn the way you trade? So he's not going to learn the way you trade, but he will accept the way that you trade, right? Just important distinction. So if I come in, because he does have memory, right? For user experience, he can remember what your preferences are, good behaviors, bad behaviors. He's going to identify all that. And so if you come in, I tell everybody, when you first go in on the free trial or subscribe, just talk to them. I've been trading this long. This is what I do. This is what I like. This is what I trade. I use this. I use that. I use, ICT. I do, IFEG, FEG, like whatever your strategy is, right? My goal with Neo is not to train somebody that doesn't want to be trained. I want him to expand on what maybe just improve you, right? And so as you're telling him about yourself and talking to him, he's going to log all that. And over time, when he gets to know you, he's going to say, hey, this is good, do that. When If he has the data, he will validate it with what you see. If he doesn't have the data, because we don't give him everything, it's too much. He'll just say, hey, I'm not tracking that, but if you're good at it, see the poll, I would use that. And then when you see something line up, let me know, and I'll let you know if what I see lines up, right? Then you're more of a team. So it's not like he's really molding you if you don't want to. Now, if you're new and you say, I'm new, I don't have a strategy, teach me. He's going to teach you. He's going to guide you, right? He's going to develop you. He can create development plans. Um, remember that stuff, and we're consistently improving that. It's just going to get better. It's not going to go backwards at all. So, it's just such an exciting project, guys. And then I'll get to your question here in a sec, Girk. My goal, for the sake of better way to say it, is I kind of want to break the industry, because I just don't like how the industry is. A lot of price gouging. Everybody's in it for. I want you to be successful if you buy my $1,000 course. Doesn't really scream want you to be successful. So, with NEO, we do 2 plans. We do basic and we do pro, right? Every time you talk to him, there is a cost. We still have to charge for it, but I did want it to be reasonable. So for the basic, which does not dilute his logic at all, it's more just user stuff, is we have it on sale for $100 a month. So, and if you sign up for that, you have that locked in until you cancel, even if the price goes up. For the pro, we do is $250, right? So you think about it, for $100 a month, you can learn from beginning to institutional level stuff as fast as you want. You can talk. There's some people. There's one person. It was so funny, uh, that we do the analysis reports, right? And he tells us kind of what is going on, right? Looks for improvements, things like that. And there's one person that literally, I think, has talked to him like 12 hours a day for like the last like 3 weeks, and I love it, right? The amount of uh, cost that comes with that API, we're probably not making anything on that, but I'm okay with it, right? Because they're getting a lot of use out of him, and the feedback that that person is given is awesome. As far as how much they've learned, and the how much it's changed their success, right? And the last story I want to kind of share is, and then I want to hear from you, Girk, is I had one person I just won't forget. It's funny. They're a skeptic, and I want you to be a skeptic. Please be a skeptic. You should not trust anything in this industry unless you see it for yourself. You try it for yourself. That is just, I'll leave it there. And he was just like, man, I don't want to pay this, don't want to pay that, don't want to pay this. $100 a month. And so finally he came back and he goes, all right, man, I'm gonna finally pull the trigger. I was like, oh, okay, any questions? And he says, well, i uh I just kind of thought about it. I was reluctant to do the $100, and then I broke like 23 evals, and then thought about it and said, well, shit, I just broke $2,300 when I probably could have paid $100 and got payouts instead. Right? So and then he actually messaged me. He's kind of keeping me up to date. He's like, when he passed it, he's like, man, I just passed this thing, like this thing's crazy. You just got to try it, see the pullback. Like I didn't want to trust that until I see some kind of hold and reclaim. So, but yeah, guys, again, nextstepalgo.com, check it out. We do a 3-day free trial, no credit card attachment, no strings attached. It doesn't even go through Stripe. If you like it, you sign up after. If you don't, no harm, no foul, right? I mean, as traders, we always have a lot of pride, right? A lot of stubbornness. And um, if it doesn't cost anything, I mean, what does it hurt to try? That's always been my argument. And it's funny, the many people that are stubborn that don't, and then they end up coming back and they do, and then they like it. So, give it a try, right? I'd love to hear back from you. Those in here can vouch. I mean, if you DM me on TikTok, I'll answer it. If you email me, I'll answer it. I'm responsive. So, Girk, what's up, man? So Girk's in the Google Meet over here, guys.
Yeah, I was just wondering if anybody else experienced this before. It's something just freak that happened. But I went to go clear my cache, and for some reason, Neo's kind of popping up like I'm on a free trial version of them or something. I don't know what happened, but I sent a support ticket in.
Let me check with Alex on that. Yeah, I'll look at it after on this. Let me.
All right, thank you.
It shouldn't. I don't know. Let me see if I can look really quick, but that's something.
Yeah, because like it literally, I was using them all morning. It was fine. And then I jumped on my other
Hmm.
desktop.
Yeah, and cleared your cache out
And
on it.
yeah, because of the price, like kind of wasn't lining up with what Neo was saying. And I kind of remember I heard somebody say maybe clear the cache. And as soon as I cleared the cache and came back, all of a sudden, like the personality, it says that, you know, you need the pro version, stuff like that. But I know you figure it out.
Yeah, I'm looking at your thing. I see it there. Let me log in as you real quick, and then if it is a bug of sort, I will send that to Alex, and yeah, he'll take a look. But let me see if it, just to make sure it's not on your side of that. Yeah, I just logged in as you, and I don't think this shows anything proprietary, but let me just kind of flip it. See, I'm in on as you, so you can see logged in as Kirk.
Yeah, but click it and it'll even say hello, Steven. But then all my like stored
Let me
things
see.
that I had with him are gone.
Well, yeah.
And then click personality.
Okay.
Hi, Steven. I'm ready. Let's see what the market is doing. What's on your mind?
I see what you're saying. So
Yeah.
it's working on there. It's just not. It's not picking up your pro. That I see what you're saying. So it's not picking up the pro, but it's still working. I thought you were saying it like kicked you out and wasn't working at all. I was like, what?
No. But also, if I clear the cache, is that also like every like all the conversations I had with him about like keywords?
Well, no, because that's stored different. That's in the memory in the database. So
all right,
it should be. You can ask him. I'd love to know, right? Because if it isn't, I want to check in with Alex.
Yeah, no, I tried. I tried asking him my key phrases for like what I've set up specifically
Just
for him to give me information, and that's not working either. But
yeah,
I know you'll figure it out.
Yeah, let me take a look at that. I'll check in with Alex and see, because the memory part of it's not cache. That's actually in the database. But ask him to summarize you as a trader and just see if he even summarizes it right. That's what I kind of want to, because you got to remember there's without going on it too deep, there's a multiple layer of there, right? So you have the cache, you have the the AI cache, and then you have the actual stored memory, right? And so there's sessions. It's gonna remember things and then store it, right? And remember things and then store it. So if you clear cache before it's stored, then what you just did there is not going to be remembered, right? But long term stuff, like if you say, hey, summarize me as a trader, right? I'd just be curious if he gives you any kind of summary on that. So yeah, just let me know. Let's see. Yeah, you can use whatever you want, and that's the biggest thing, guys. Look at this. I'm not taking this poll, but look at the break rejection poll. So he said, what did he say? 704 is what he was talking about. We'll talk to him in a second, but keep in mind, guys, you don't link him to anything. He's not trading for you. There's no data you're giving him. You're just talking to him. So you can use whatever you want. You can use whatever platform you want, right? Now, when we do watch lists where he does do automation, he's going to be trading for people by the end of the year is our goal. Then it's different, right? It'll probably be Tradeovate and Tasty Trade will probably be the first two we do. So his again, the overall institutional target, the 3069 was there. I told you guys my concern is they're gonna sweep it. This is what they do. He had mentioned if you break the 819 and we reject that, our target's 704. So I'm kind of curious if we bounce somewhere around the 704. We can ask him again. So I think that I got all the questions on there. Let me know on the summary thing. Let's ask him to see where it's going.
Closed my put right before this last little
Oh,
hoorah.
Nice. Hey, green, you're having a good day, man. The green is green and Thursday.
Oh yeah, I mean I was
Heck yeah.
up $50, so I mean it was good. It was a good one. But
That's awesome. So let's ask him. As we're checking back in, we did get that breakdown from the 819. If we reclaim 704, do you think a long would become viable, or what's the next long and short setup? Let's see if he gives us anything here. Because remember, he said 704 is where he was expecting a potential bounce. So we're getting that doji. I want to see where we close, but let's see what he... Oh, shoot, I got to refresh it because I logged in as you. Whenever I log in as someone, it kicks me out of my own.
Hey Nick, good to have you. I'm ready to work. Whenever you're set, send over your market read or the setup you're looking at.
We're back on here. So the price just came back, hit that 680 again, and reclaimed 704. Would we be viable for a long here? Or what's the next setup? I'm gonna kind of I jumped
That
into
reclaim
here,
of
but I want to see.
704 makes the long idea viable, but don't get reckless. Post-news volatility is still a factor. I'd look for a hold above 704, with the first upside target near 755 and invalidation if price fails back below 704.
55. Do you have any adjustments post-news on your plan? What should our bias be? Would you be looking long, shorts? What's some key levels for a breakdown that we would see the biggest move, or key levels for a break up to get the biggest move? I just want to see what he says.
Post-news, volatility is still settling, so keep size small. My lean is wait and see. The market is currently compressing between
my lean is wait and see.
29693, 29717 support and 29,728 resistance. Shorts only become viable if price breaks and holds below 29,693, with a target toward 29,443. Longs only become clean if price reclaims and holds above 29,728, targeting 29,818. If 29,728 rejects, stay patient for a lower high setup.
Yeah. Do you see any change in the institutions? Are they still buying? Do you expect them to try to hold this 680? I want to see which way he's leaning. I'm going to keep probing him. Because he gave a pretty low target there. What do you say? 640, 443. Oof.
Institutional flow is still positive, but don't blindly trust the buy pressure. We need price to confirm. Institutions are likely trying to defend the 29693, 29717 support zone.
So the
but if price
680
breaks
is the
and
big
holds
one.
below 29,693, that support is toast and we're looking at a breakdown.
I want to ask him, you keep mentioning 693. I have 680. Is that still a viable area? Or, because we don't know if they, they could shift it, right? That's awesome, man.
680 was the bounce, but 693 is where structure actually validates. If you're using 680, you're trading a looser entry. The trade only stays viable if 680 holds and price reclaims 704.
Gotcha.
If 680 fails, don't play hero. That's a breakdown.
I see. So we want 680 to hold it to break above 704 and kind of retest, hold that as support. Then we'd be clear to take that back long. Anything short of that, we're breaking structure back down.
Exactly. If 680 fails to hold, you're looking at a breakdown, not a long. You need that 704 reclaim and a clean retest for the long.
Look at that rejection right off of it too. So let's wait and see if we get it on that. Would you be leaning more towards waiting for longs or shorts based on the data? So we're getting that breakdown. I just want to see which way you'd lean.
Wait. Price is chopping right at the 29,650
he says I would wait.
resistance zone, so I'm not picking a side until we see a clear break and
His
hold.
ass is being
a long
stubborn.
becomes valid only if price accepts above the 29,659 resistance zone with candle close confirmation. Otherwise, a short rejection from here is the path of least resistance.
Man, he is being stubborn about that. So again, look at, we had the pull, we hit this, and we rejected. We never got the close. We did get the close above it here briefly, but not above our doji within. So I want to see how deep this goes on that. That was a good play for the short though.
Wish I would have held that.
Right. What'd you say?
People sell the product. If they make the dollar off each product they sell, they sell $1 million. You could take that $1 million.
Yeah.
And I don't think the average person.
All right.
Make this 443 his next level.
Well, that's what he said, the longer target. So he gave 2 longer targets, and what's funny is he keeps kind of being conflicted on choosing a side. He doesn't, normally you guys know he's either like I'm selling, I'm buying, like he's stubborn as hell. This one he's kind of, if we hold below 680, we're likely to go to 43. If we hold above I think he said what 848, we're going to 3069, right? So but every time I try to force him to pick a side, he's like, I'm not picking a side. Like watch the key level, because he said it's very choppy right now. And so, you got to kind of be patient for the side. If you want to take the shorts, right, you're looking for those setups below the 680. You want to take the longs, you're above the 884 on that. So, what I like to see, those who I teach, I love to see levels break on a bullish type, morning, and then a reclaim. Because that if it breaks it and it reclaims it, uh, that move north is usually pretty damn strong. If we break it and we hit it and absorb south, that move down is pretty damn strong. So you got to kind of watch and see, is this a trap that they're trying to do? The interesting thing to me is that he said institutions are still buying, which means that they're basically short squeezing right now, or long squeezing, and they're buying it up. So, but again, he's pretty damn stubborn about these levels. He don't want to take nothing unless it closes above that 704, which now would be actually a good trade because you would have kind of a wedge, pull up, reclaim of the low, reclaim of the high. That would give you your expansion, right? So it's really not a bad idea. But let's see, right? We don't know if this is going to be a pull, 50% pull, and then drop, right? So let's look and see. If we take some 50% type plays, this would be what you'd want to see, something like that. If we break above that, then it's likely going to be the trap, like I was mentioning. And if it gets above that 704, though, whew, looks like the buyers are trying to defend this. We came back up. We're trying to retest that 680. If we get the break above 704, that would be the viable long. I want to just challenge him just to see if his data changes. Again, if you guys are super green, if you're green, don't push it, right? You don't want to be greedy. It's just study.
The
right?
693 to 695 zone is holding the support for now, but I need to see more than just a tap. Buyers need to reclaim 704 and hold it as support for that long to be worth a damn. If we break above 704 and hold,
Give him
the
a
first
correction
target
there.
is
He's a little bit off on that
725,
one.
with invalidation back below 693. Don't chase the push. Wait for the retest to prove buyers are actually
725.
there.
Okay, so 704, he's saying 725. That target's kind of short. Interesting. See how we're getting the reclaim? I always love to ask why. If this was going to drop, why? I mean, I don't have indicators on, right? But, why are we holding here? And that's where my kind of the trap in me kind of thinks, okay, well, maybe we're stopping, right? So let's see if we get that viable push on the reclaim. Those usually end up pretty deep because it just stop hunted, right? Now the tricky thing is I always listen to um, when he's mixed like this. I don't like to force one side or the other, but I tend to lean more towards the institutional side because if the institutions are buying uh, and he's mixed, I mean, I probably want to stay on the side of the institutions, right? I don't want to be on the side of the retails, so I'm just gonna wait for some kind of structure to fail or reclaim or do something to show me that they are. So
Or you could try whole sizer strategy and just go against the institutional trading.
yeah, sometimes. Well, that's the close my eyes and push the button.
That's right. That's how I do it. I just keep my eyes closed and say,
He likes to look dangerously. He hits on a 20.
Right. Guys, there's that 704, so we just breached it. Remember what I was telling you guys, right? This is a pull. I don't really trust this thing. If you got the break, it was still a good play. You probably trailed it for a scalp, but I didn't really trust it, right? Look at the pushes that we were getting in an area we shouldn't have gotten pushes. But now it's just kind of a pull. Now, the thing is, from an overall deeper kind of structure, right? You take the high-low, or 50% pull there. Now, how we want to see if this has any validity to it is take this high and low and see if we hold that. So we're testing the 50%. It's no shocking reason that it's pulling. Now I want to see, is this a trap into a dump? If this is going to be a trap, a bear trap and a push, it should never lose that 50% or that 680. I also love, is it? I also love to put it like that. That puts your potential high 745 if that's your 50% pull. This is just kind of how I like to interpret, right? Right now I'm just trying to identify, does this thing have strength? If you entered your long here, you got to kind of just put a tight little stop loss somewhere below the 50% if you're going to take that potential play. So which I'm in mine, only 3 MNQ on this other one I'm doing. So I'm just going to trail it. And so now as this is pushing, I'm going to probably put my trail below there. And if it stops me out, it stops me out.
Push it to the moon. Let's go.
I mean, I'm telling you, Neo's awesome, and if I keep talking to him, he's gonna tell you all this stuff, right? But I don't necessarily where'd this ticker go? Hold on, I gotta trail my thing. Look at it, like you guys, just so when I'm looking at my screen, this is what I'm doing. I'm going, holy shit, where did it go? I don't even know, where is it at? 64. I'm on an intraday, so I gotta be careful, right? I gotta pull it up. It's only 3 MNQ. I wanna, it's probably gonna stop me out here, which is fine. I'll take it. I don't care. We'll leave it. Let's see if it stops me out. But again, guys, look at this one. I mean, I was at 700, so I'm up 1,000 on that one. 1,000 on that one. Yeah, stop me out. That's fine. I'm not worried about. I don't want to press my luck on that one because of the intraday. But I mean, this is where if you keep talking to him, he's going to tell you that anyways, right? But this is what I teach people. It's what I teach Neo. That these are traps. That's how they trap people, right? A lot of bears taking that expansion probably got wrecked if you didn't trail it. So, and his target was the 725. I think it's going to get back up to around the 819. Might get a little rejection on the 73 here, right? So again, using that reverse 50, if I pull this to here and I line it up there, we've expanded. If I line it up to there, that would give a potential top of 793. That might reject. If we blow through that, this thing's just going to take off. This is what's so cool from a macro portion, wider, is I can take this high and this low, and that's likely why we're rejecting there. That's why I was okay with letting it trail out. I'm not going to push it, right? Because if we do reject here, I'll just let it come back and I'll just re-enter the play. So, but if we do breach this and it can breach this, it's probably going to go up and hit his 69 target that he called out earlier. We just got to keep measuring strength, guys. So, if you've been trading and some of what I'm saying is intriguing you, I do have a few spots left in my mentor program you might want to check out because that's what I teach, right, on that. So, yeah, he does stocks. You want me to do a QQQ? Well, I don't know if I have the T and the S. I'll have to look at that. The QQQ that he's gonna do right now is options. From that, but I can look up. We're able to add. Oh shoot, I forgot to add that one. Somebody had asked me about adding in the Russell and one other, and I meant to add it last night, but we did the session. I was at my computer for a long time, so I kind of walked away. But I will get that added in for that person that was asking. Let's see. What a great play on that. I was waiting, kind of like you taught me on the traps, and we broke below, but I didn't like the pressure. So I was waiting for the retest of the 680 before I jumped into that short, and we broke back through it. So I flipped into a potential trap. We broke the 704, and I took a long. It was another good play, and I got trailed out early. So now that I'm out, what's the next setup? What do you think? Do we want to wait for a pullback and stay potential long? I'm going to ask him. Again, if you're thinking it, just ask him, right? Just ask him.
Good discipline on the trap and the reversal long. That's exactly how you stay out of the blender. Right now, price is pushing into the 29,768 institutional resistance zone, so I wouldn't chase the long here. The cleaner play is to wait for a pullback into the 29700, 29715 zone to see if buyers defend it, then look for a move back toward 29770 plus. If we lose 29,690, the long idea is toast and I flip to looking for a rejection short.
Okay, so there's the pullback. Let's see if we get any kind of doji push off of it. There's the Little bounce push. Let's see if it holds. So we got the 15-second hold. Let's see if we get the green candle. I want to see a doji close above, right? And then that would be kind of what he's looking for on that. And then he said, what did he say, 690? Then the idea is dead. So 690, I'm going to still hold the 680. I'm not going to change it. Do you still see institutions buying? I want to see if there's anything changed on that. So 704 was his hold that he was talking about. 680 was his kind
The
of...
data shows positive institutional flow and buy pressure, but price is currently testing the 29,704 major support level. We need to see a clean hold and a bullish candle body close above that level to confirm the buying before I trust a long.
All right, so we're getting a clean hold and a candle body close, right, above the hold. So which is this doji? So right here. There you go. I entered my defensive one, then I'm just kind of trailing it. And just put kind of a break even on it. So we'll see if we get the pop on it. And there it goes. So I'm going to trail this one. I freaking clicked the wrong spot, guys. My bad. But you can see I'm almost into a payable spot for this one. So I'll probably try to get this one up a little bit more and then take a good payout tonight. But you guys notice, like many of you who have traded before, or you followed people, look how hard I'm working at this. I'm just, where are we going? I mean, I don't want to underplay it, right? I have experience. I know what I'm looking at as it's doing it. But look at the patience that he is giving people, even me. And remember when I was doing this kind of lower upper, and I was trying to line up my lines, right? And I was kind of looking at there, within there. And so it kind of hit right within the pocket of that pullback. But more importantly, it was pretty close, I think, when we did it, of our retracement regression of there. Perfectly. So for us to get a rejection here into a 50% here, for us to get a potential push is just normal market structure. Right, that's a lot of what I teach. And notice I don't even have indicators on here. I mean, the indicators are great. Don't get me wrong, I have indicators. We create indicators. When I'm trading by myself, I'll put them on. But I know on TikTok it's harder to see, so I'm just like to show you don't need to. Yeah, we do options at 11. So we got about 30 minutes. We finished so damn early that I'm just kind of chilling. But yeah, it's pretty cool how Radius, man. I know you've been following for a little bit, but isn't it fun to watch him just get better and better? Like it's pretty wild. Uh, it almost makes us lazy. Like I'm just, hey, where are we going next? I'm not even, like you guys know, man, know me for a while. I'm usually just anal when I trade about it. I'm like, okay, where's this, high, low, got the indicator, checking this. How did it go into Lisma? How deep did it go? That, like I'm just, my brain is tired by the time I'm done trading, right? And you guys see, I'm just sitting back in my chair. I'm just feet up on my, little wall here, and where are we going next? So, uh, yeah. So the key level. So see this one right here, radius 773. I'll show you guys again, but this is a absolutely critical level to me. If we hold this for too long, it can fall really far. So we got to be really careful. But if we continuously break it and we hold it as support, it could jump really far. I had 30,010, so he had 30,069. So he's probably right. He's proven me wrong a lot of times. And so he's probably right, guys. So, but again, you guys seen, I mean, he's like, wait for a pullback into 704, 715. We get to close above the 715. There it is. And I mean, it's just, he makes it look almost too easy. It's kind of awesome, but annoying at the same time. By the end of the year, guys, he's going to be automatically trading. I love to trade, but look, if I can have this dude win for me regularly and just not have to ever touch him, I'm down. Even me, right? You're going to go the other way and see what happens. Oh, so you're going to be going down or you're going up? You're thinking the deeper drop. And what's funny is, he keeps he's got the tight range. This is the tight range he called an open, right? But he had mentioned a potential high here, but then notice he pivoted to a potential low here. So he's got a really wide range that he's expecting. The interesting thing is, though, you can see we broke here. This should have expanded. I mean, you think about it. We have easy compression within. We broke it, kind of broke the low. There's really no reason this didn't just drop, right? He had 443 as far as that local kind of dealer while they're watching. But there's no reason this shouldn't have dropped further. It was such a great setup. Now from an overall structure standpoint, now that I'm kind of zoomed out, a lot of times when you get this deeper kind of push pull, this, you guys know, normally here I'm going to call lower low anyways. I've taught you guys that in the mentor group. And so you're not wrong on it, right? This type of structure typically is going to have a couple of corrections, but it ends up creating a pretty deep low. So could be a lower low on that. But the thing is, the interesting portion for me, I've been testing it a lot, and as you guys know, I'm not a big fan of going against the structure, but I'm even lesser of a fan of going against the institutions. If he keeps telling me they're buying, I'll just wait till this sucker comes to here, and then I'll wait till they do the landmine push up with it, right? But yeah, this I'll show you guys right now since I'm not in a trade. I'm only like $20 from getting past where I get a payout on that one, so I don't want to rush it. But look at this is what I was teaching earlier. So, and some of you experienced some structure. You guys can agree, disagree, let me know. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't claim to be perfect. I love structure. I have a lot of yellow lines here. You can, I'll just hide them. Hold on. Let me just hide them all. This is bearish. It just is, right? But this, right, at the time is also bearish. It just is. And look what happened. So, there's some elements in here that line up, and there's some that don't line up. And so you heard me say Radius and some others. Look, Monday, I'm like, I think we're gonna go up. This looks really bearish. It did. We were like that, and we could go down a little more, but I think we're gonna go up. We're not done. And y'all can keep me honest with it, but this structure is still in play. So when you look at a structure, typically you have an up and then you have a down. We want to see, a lot of times the market loves to do this side what it did this side. And it kind of following in suit, right? So when you see the up, it's not always exact, but you see this peak is pretty close to this peak. Drop down, this peak is pretty close to this peak, right? We drop down. So as we pull down here, now we're just in this kind of here, right? So there usually is one more little hoorah up, and that's what I was expecting, and we got it. Now is what I don't know is there was an anomaly I was talking to the mentor group about this morning. I'll give you guys a little extra sauce. Is there's a little anomaly with this structure. Are we truly in this leg or are we in this leg? If it is true, down, right? So because of this little pocket, it kind of, I don't know, it could be this or it could be this. And so what we did is we marked that level, the 773 or whatever. It's basically the high of this candle. I want to see how it reacts. If we continuously break it and we hold it as support, it's likely going to pull to this one, which is funny. Actually, that is really close to his level, 69, right? That's what he called 30,069. So there's a chance that we are actually in this leg of it before we begin a drop, expansion, and pull, right? Which would then put it into next week, end of month, right? 30, Thursday, Friday, all that, right? And so that's kind of what I'm watching. And nobody really knows when we're gonna drop. We just don't know, right? Now we don't even know, is this gonna be an invalidation that just explodes? It's possible. Right? And that's where you can take some trend lines, structures, behaviors to determine that we're going to explode. That's how I have it on the YouTube recorded. So thank God, because nobody believed me. But when we were in here, I was telling everybody we're going to like 29. What did I say, guys? 29, I think. I don't think I said 30 because I was like, I don't want to go that high. But I was like, we're about to blow off top. Like we were all taking longs and, called back here. because it just didn't behave how it's supposed to. And that's what I study. That's what NEO has been taught is the market's got to do certain things, man. And if it doesn't do it, it's an anomaly. And that tells you something too. All right. And that's why a lot of retail fail is you're only taught what to look for. You're not taught that if what you're supposed to look for doesn't do what it's supposed to do, you should be trading the inverse, right? I mean, some of you experienced guys, I mean, Radius, I mean, right? Would you agree? You know, I know some people in here, you guys all experienced. I mean, you guys all know anyways. You know, that's the missing piece. And that's the missing piece that a lot of experienced people don't want to teach you. Because if you learn that, you don't need them. I don't mind teaching you because I don't care if you know that or not, or if you're experienced or not. You know, we have Neo, and Neo's going to still help you regardless. So, but yeah, so that's why I'm not really quite sure we're going to drop yet. Could be an end of day thing. Could be, you know, think about it. Also, last Thursday we dumped like a nut, right? And they like to trip that up a little bit, right? So we could see a little bit of a potential push. Sorry, I'm looking over at the YouTube. I do try to watch that. I don't remember when you asked the next target on there. But guys, also on YouTube, if I'm talking, you know, I'm not in a trade. I'm just trying to elaborate of what we're doing. You guys can have the beauty of Neo. You get your own, right? Nextstepalgo.com. If you haven't done it, you get a free trial. You guys can be in talking to them and ignoring me if you want. So, and if you want to subscribe again, you know he's pretty affordable with the coupon. So, but another phenomenal day, guys. I mean, he crushed it in Asia. Um, he's crushed it this morning. So, I set up these rapids last night. Just kind of like you know I'm gonna just do this with everybody in Asia, and I did 6 accounts from it, passed all 6 of them in Asia, and I'm up 5,000 on my intraday rapids that are daily payouts. And y'all see how hard I'm working. I'm just sitting here, just where are we going? Okay, are we gonna hold this? Yep. All right, I'm in. It does make you lazy. Now on the lazy comment, I'm gonna tell you my disclaimer. You still gotta study, you know. You still gotta study, right? Don't treat them like a signal caller. If you treat them like a signal caller, you're possibly gonna not find as much value in him as you're seeing me do with him, because he's so much more than that. You still have to understand things. You still have to understand structure, movement, time frame, alignment, all these things. If you don't know what to learn, ask him, what should I learn? He'll teach you, right? He can build the development plan. That's actually my next update I'm going to be working on probably this weekend. Is he'll already build you a development plan, but I want it to be deeper. Like I want I'm going to be working with Alex on the memory to give some expansion to a deeper plan. I want him literally to be like, here's the development plan. Every day I want you to check in with me, and for 1 hour we're going to talk about this. Just let me know when you're ready for it, right? And then he'll remember where you were, exactly what you're doing. Like I want it to be a deep coaching development plan. He can kind of do that, but his memory is limited to what you're doing, preferences, behaviors, all that stuff. And so uh I don't do I don't have affiliate code. No. I use my plan on mine. I do Lucid as my longer term plays because I like the end of day 5 day payouts. Rapid are kind of my swing for a little bigger, right? So I'm not afraid to break it if it breaks. Because I can have a $10,000 day, right? And so my funded on the Rapids. I love those. I don't have the affiliate code. That's the thing you guys will learn about me. I'm not on here going, hey, need to be paid by TikTok, guys. Give me a this, give me a that. I don't get paid by TikTok, and I don't care to. I make my money other ways. I don't really have affiliate codes, and I know I could make one, and I appreciate some go, man, just do it. It'll get you credit. I love affiliates. Don't get me wrong, but affiliates with prop firms are just kind of because if I'm a mentor teaching you to be successful, saying use my affiliate code, buy all these accounts, and I'm getting paid because you get paid decently, um, depending on who you trust, they might just be like, well, hopefully you break these and you can go do that again. So you know what's funny, Sam? We don't, but I do love the idea, and I might think on that because I was never military. All my grandparents were.
You can
My son,
sort of save this conversation
yeah.
and but
What's up? Oh, uh, and the in the military, my son was military, right? And so I love that and supporting that. So I'm definitely down for that. I just have to with military discount, obviously, right? You gotta proof of military background and stuff. So it requires adding. It's not like just make a coupon code, right? So I have to ask Alex because we'd have to incorporate the verify, where you would click the link, upload your stuff, it would verify it, all that. So, but I love the idea, so I'm actually gonna think on that. But no, we don't right now. No. But yeah, guys. I mean, we're done. So it's 10:47. And you know, we got 11 o'clock. We're gonna be doing options. So I am not gonna take any more trades. You guys can see I'm, not in a trade. So 5 grand is what I pulled on my rapids, and so I don't really need to trade, but we'll see. We're gonna pivot over to options. So yeah, ID me. That's what it was. Yeah, I think one's verify and the other one's ID me or something. So yeah, it's something I'm sure we can do. I'm down for that because I'm a big believer in that for sure. Um, and but yeah, guys, we're gonna pivot over. I'm gonna cover my screen because I'm not taking any more trades in this session. So we actually went a little longer. So if you got some extra trades, awesome. If you're on TikTok or even in there, if you guys want to drop your P&L, how'd you guys do? Did you guys make some good profit? I'd love to see it. So I always love to get the feedback, guys. Keep in mind with Neo, yeah. What's up?
I got $1,000 on my funded.
Nice, man. Good job. That's huge. That's a good day. Nice pull.
I got 750 on a eval that I passed today, and then traded it and made 750 on one of those lucids. But
nice.
Key thing, I shifted my whole mentality with Neo because first I was like playing the levels. The levels are undeniable, but I was just getting in too early.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll just tell anybody out here, the biggest thing you could do wrong is if he says, "Oh, this level crosses, that's it." You go, and you got to wait for the retest, whether you miss it or not. Doesn't matter. Let it run if you missed it, but when that retests confirmed, that's the easy setup, and that's been like game changer. So
yeah. No, I appreciate you sharing that, man. And you're not wrong. Spot on, actually. I'm gonna share with. Go ahead.
I lost like 2,600.
Man, what'd you do, Duff? You ain't listening to Neo, are you? Come on. Was that on your demo or demo? Probably, right?
That was on my eval.
Oh, man, I'd love to know where you went in.
I'm up 200 on my funded.
Nice. The one thing I want to kind of jump to, appreciate it. And if you guys want to keep sharing profits, just go ahead and type it in for me. Because we have 10 minutes. I trying to respect the options times because he's been killing it in options as well. But I want to share two things. One, I keep beating this into people. Keep your volume manageable. You do not need a lot of volume, guys. The 5K I made here, I use between 3 MNQ, 2 MNQ, and I think I did 5 MNQ on that one that was really good. I wasn't trading
Are you trading multiple evaluations at once to make that 5K?
No, I'm sharing my screen right here. It's 2 accounts. I did this one and I finished, and then I went to that one. I'm not. No, I mean, yeah. I mean, the 5K was between 2. It wasn't one directly, but yeah. But you don't need a lot of volume. You just don't. If anything, you use too much volume, you're going to create too much emotion. You're going to get wicked out. You're going to get blow the account. I want to leave you guys on TikTok and YouTube with just a couple things that I've been talking a lot about on the mentor group. The first thing, and this is advice that you really should listen to. If you are getting into a rut where you're breaking accounts regularly, you really want to try to lower your volume because we get into this, like, the mindset of if I get 1,500 today, 1,500 tomorrow, man, I can have this money in my bank by the next day, 3 days. Oh, I need this money, right? You get into this rabbit hole, even if you're a good trader. And so, but what happens is you push too hard, too fast, you break it, and then you start that cycle again. You go, well, let's just do it again. If I get 1,500, it's the definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing over. Or you could lower the volume, and instead of going through 6 evals before you get your money on that 6th or 7th day, let's say, um, you go through one and you get the money on the 6th or 7th day, and you didn't spend the money for the 6 evals, and you didn't take the emotional beat down that comes with it, right? So that's my advice. I've been really, really beating into people. The second one, I'll go back on with Bobby because him and I talked a bit about, and many others as well. Don't FOMO into things. If he says, here's a key level, but wait for it to hold, you're waiting for it to hold. If he says, wait for a pullback, we wait for the pullback. You guys saw me do it today. I'm like, I wanted to go long, but I'm gonna wait for this pullback, and it pulled back. He was right. It looked like it was gonna keep going, and it pulled back. And that patience will be just a game changer for you. And I want to read something that I saved, and I read this morning because I have talked to Neo more than all of you probably together because I have to test him. And he said a lot of really good stuff, but he said something so amazing that just resonated with me. It's so awesome. And I would be not honest with you guys if I didn't, even myself and what I do. I don't think of this when I'm analyzing whether I should go in or not, because it just was such great advice. In all fairness, I am on uncensored when this happened, and if you have kids or you're at work, you might want to turn your volume down. But I'll for dramatics. So I was basically showing people I was testing something. I said, the market's looking bearish. I want to go short, and he said, I would wait for a pullback to here. It's a better entry. And so I just reaffirmed, okay, so if it pulls back to here, I get a rejection, some kind of doji, close, that would be my entry. And he said, I'm going to read you a little verbatim here from my phone. Exactly. Shorting right now is just chasing that move that is already extended. You are selling into a potential bounce area. Wait for that push up to the level. It was like 29,933 back then. It gives you a defined rejection point, which makes your risk management clean rather than guessing. If it goes through that and holds, the bearish thesis is junk, and you can stop your bleeding before it gets too deep. Great advice. So I wanted to show some bad behavior. So I said, yeah, but this is looking pretty bearish, and it's really looking like it's going to drop. And I feel like if I don't enter now, I'm going to miss it. And I sent it, and I said, what if I miss this trade and it never goes up there? And he said, then you fucking miss it. That's literally, I was like, wow, it was blunt as hell. And he followed up with great advice that is just, man, it resonated with me because he's not prompted. He just says things within guidance of area that he should, right? He said chasing a breakdown after the move already started is how you get trapped by a liquidity sweep. If it drops without hitting your level, you didn't miss a trade. You missed a bad setup. Wait for the retest and a fresh structure level for your next trade. Your account will thank you later. Man, just like when he said that, I'm like, I'm taking a picture of this. That was the greatest advice that I could give anybody. Because it's so true as a trader. Like we sit there and just go, like here, when he kept saying, wait for the pullback, and it looked where was it? It was actually back here, I think, somewhere. I don't know. I think it was here. He kept saying, wait for the pullback, and it's like, it looks like it's gonna go, and in the back of our mind, we're thinking, what if we miss it? Well, then you miss it. It was a terrible structure setup. You tried to play an extension, not an actual structure, and that's not trading, right? And so that was such. I mean, man, when I seen that, I'm like, Now on uncensored, he will say that. On other ones, he won't. So don't choose uncensored if you don't want that. But I love uncensored because he's bold. He's gonna tell you. But it's great trading advice, guys. Your account will thank you later if you keep your volume manageable and trade structure. I can't tell you my last little kind of thought, and then we got to run. I can go through an exercise. I've done this many times with people, and I can say if this is an uptrend, right? Or I'll ask, is this is an uptrend? Yeah, it's an uptrend. Higher high, higher low. Sweet. Would you enter there? And I will tell you 10 for 10, 30 for 30. I don't care how many people are in there. 100 for 100. People go, no, that's stupid. Why would I enter there? I'm gonna wait for a pullback. Why, yeah, I mean, it makes sense on an uptrend. You would wait for the pull, retest, confirmation, push, right? But I cannot tell you how many people still enter here because when it's like this, it looks really appealing, like it's gonna jump, and then you get caught in the regression. So
Yeah, and that's what happened to me. That's how I lost that so much today. I took that
the
buy at the
breakouts.
very like top of that example that you did, and it first completely pulled back on me.
Yeah, and that's the regression. The beauty of NEO is that's where you can ask them. Remember, for those who were on early, I said, "Hey, are breakout trades good today?" And he's like, "I wouldn't. I would wait for pullbacks." Right? He has all that stuff. He's got all that data. He can tell you if breakout trades look good or if they don't. Right? And so you just don't want to constantly chase breakouts because you're gonna likely get caught if you do too much on that. But guys, we got to jump into options here pretty soon. Girk, I know you got one more question, and then we're gonna drop off.
It wasn't a question.
Oh,
I just kind of I wanted to share something
Yeah.
along the lines of what you were talking about, using the lower volume. The biggest thing that changed for me was, and I can tell you this personally, I don't care, I have no shame in it. I have failed 400 plus evals in years. And what really changed everything for me was realizing the money I was spending on evals. If you say start a TradeVision account, it only takes $100 to trade one micro. You can go and using that live account, that live money, it put so much more pressure on me to stop. The preservation of your own money and preservation of your own capital, and you literally can throw $300 in, trade one micro, and literally grow that account. And it completely changed me. So I just wanted to shoot that out there. Maybe somebody else it'll resonate with.
Yeah, it changes the game, man. Literally almost every person I've ever mentored, they fight me on that for a long time, and then usually when they get their consistency is when they go, yeah, probably wish I should have did that years ago. So, you got to kind of go with it.
Here's another good example. I mean,
Yeah.
just look at that 783 level that we came to visit it. We broke through that big wick, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you didn't wait for that pullback, you would have been toast.
Right here. Yeah.
But now it pulled back and didn't hold.
Yep.
Right? So
broke through, pulled
And
back.
I made $1,000 today trading only 2 micros all day. That's
Stupid.
it.
Isn't it crazy?
wow. Awesome.
Yeah. So if you're trading
That's
high
what I
volume,
did
man.
too.
Yeah, I mean, I only took one little additional scalp on there, so now this one's in a payable range, so I'm gonna see if I can squeeze a little more out of that one, but we'll see. I don't really need to if I don't want to.
Are you setting TPs on those in a day, or are you just closing out?
It depends. So on this one, I took. So I was actually watching this while I was kind of talking. I saw, because you guys know I'm always watching. I saw the double bottom in an area that should have pulled, that didn't pull, showed some strength, saw the trap, saw the explosion, saw the pullback. I waited for the pullback. I wasn't looking short. I was looking for the pullback, doji, reclaim, and then I jumped in, and then I set a TP kind of conservatively, right? My mind's crazy. I'm doing this all while I'm talking. So teaching. And so then I'll set a TP. But intraday I will trail. Like earlier today I trailed most of them because I was able to let Neo do it while I'm trying to trail it, right? But because in the volatility, like these moves are so big, if you set a TP too high, your intraday is going to wreck you. You set it too low, you're getting a boom, I made my $50 and then it goes up another 100 points. You're like, oh shit, right? But if I'm not on here doing this, I'm probably always trailing it for it. But I have to set TP sometimes because I can't, I'm teaching, watching NEO, YouTube, everything else on here. So, but guys, let's jump into options. Let me shut it down here quickly. Just the last little thing, and all these blue lines are his levels, and you can see they're look at, we just rejected so good of it. So very viable. If you guys want to try it out, those who are trying it, you already know you're probably ignoring me and talking to them anyways, which is totally fine with me. TradeVision is where you want to go. Nextstepalgo.com is the website. He's awesome. So you guys are all able to see it. He's called this thing like every day. It's ridiculous. It's the easiest trading I've ever done. We're not done with them. We're going to make them better, but more on a user experience, not as much trading. His trading is down. And the one thing I want to finish up with that, and we talked about this, Bobby, is, and you probably noticed the adjustments, is don't be afraid to give feedback, right? I would like it if it did this. Why didn't it do this? It should do this. And if I can do it, I'll do it, right? Like, we talked, Bobby, and I pushed a pretty good update. And I don't know if you noticed the difference. He's more clear on this is what I need.
It certainly did.
Right?
Yeah, that was a key update. Gave you the invalidation levels.
Yeah.
Just went a little further, but in a really good brief way. So I
Yeah.
really, that was a biggie.
And the nice thing is one of the things is I want him to say things like we're chopping, we're in consolidation, kind of like what we talked about, right? If he sees it, he'll call it, right? The other thing I know we're a little late is I got him to do, which he is doing, so awesome, is we did get some people. So if you did the trial and this happened to you, it's definitely better. Is if he gave you a trade setup, let's say he said, I wanted to push, pull, hold above, right? Or whatever. When it pushes up, people would just say, where's the setup? Well, if we do this, then it gets up there and you go, okay, where's the setup? Or is it time to enter? He's going to think that is a new trade. No trade. You want to enter above there. You want to enter above there. Because he's already told you what that trade was. So he kind of expected you to do that, right? And I recognize that. So I was able, it was not easy. It took me like 20 hours to get it all to go. But now if he gives you a trade setup and you're in that range and you ask for, is this it, right? Are we here? He's going to say, yeah, this trade is still valid, right? If you get this, he's going to tell you what to look for. So he's still going to recognize now that trade. But again, lean on him, ask him questions. If you don't know what to ask him, you don't know what to ask him. Like, he's AI. He's going to literally talk to you. So with that said, guys, I got to run. I got to go over and do options with people. We flip over to SPY. That's what we're going to be doing. You guys see we have blue levels here. He crushes it on options. If you're interested in trading options, we do options with people on that are VIP and mentor. So if you're looking for any kind of mentoring, you just click on the mentor program. I think I have like one or two. So it shows one, but I think I have like a couple of spots left. And so if you're interested, hey, and mentoring, that's where you would go. We can get on and have a discussion. If you want VIP, VIP is VIP. You can just kind of read through what you get. You get all access to pretty much everything, including automation and everything else that comes out. So those are the two requirements for options. We're trading real money. It's not prop firms. So most people, when they follow the guidance, I mean, the monthly payment is paid in, one trader that day, depending on what you're trading, right, account size. So aside from that, guys, that's all I got, man. Great job. We were done by like 9:35, but I love that we pushed it a little harder. Worked out pretty well. So